Hello everyone, today I will be doing a video telling you all about hamsters. First, we are going to talk about the most common hamsters kept as pets. Next, we will talk about what you need to purchase a hamster and how to take care of it. This video is useful for anyone doing research about hamsters and planning to get one. The first thing to know about hamsters is the different species that are tamed. The first that is tamed and the most common in pet stores are the Syrian hamster. Syrians are usually considered docile to humans, but they're actually very hostile to their hamsters. So do not house Syrians together, or they could get into fights and even kill each other. The next hamster is the Campbell's dwarf hamster. Dwarf hamsters are half the size of a Syrian hamster, so this would mean that certain parts of the cage, like the wheel, could be a little smaller. Campbell's dwarf hamsters are also really similar to winter white dwarf hamsters, which led to hybrids. These hybrids ended up making it almost impossible to find a pure winter white or Campbell's dwarf hamster. This leads us to our next hamster, which is the winter white dwarf hamster. Winter white hamsters also have a small ball-like shape and are also half the size of a Syrian hamster. Unlike the Campbell's dwarf hamster, the winter white dwarf hamster will change into a white color in the winter. Although, the color changing is based off of the sun and not the temperature, making it uncommon for it to change colors while in captivity, because they are not able to see the sun. The Roborovsky dwarf hamster is next. These hamsters are the hardest to tame, but are also known for how they rarely bite. These hamsters are the smallest species and can be as small as 5 centimeters when fully grown. These hamsters are usually called robos due to their long and hard to pronounce name. Finally, we have the Chinese hamster. These are similar to the Syrian hamster, but are long and thin instead. They are one of the easiest to tame, but are known to sometimes nip at their owners until they are tamed. Now that you know the different species of hamsters, you need to know what to purchase for them. Hamsters may be very small, but require a big cage to stay in, or they will become territorial or try to escape. Though the hamster cage size has changed through the years, the most commonly recommended minimum is 450 square inches, or about 3 square feet. You will also need a wheel, or your hamster won't get the exercise it needs. Depending on where you are, the minimum size for a Syrian hamster is about 8 to 11 inches, and 6 to 9 inches for a dwarf hamster. That's about 20 to 27 centimeters for a Syrian, and 15 to 22 centimeters for a dwarf hamster. Chinese hamsters also need about 8 inches or 20 centimeters. Hamsters also need chew toys and a small hideout. Chew toys are so they can grind their teeth. Because they are rodents, their teeth will never stop growing. So these are needed. A hideout is also needed, so a hamster has a small place to sleep and live. Hamsters usually will feel safe in a hideout as long as it's the right size, and they will usually make their nest there. You will also need bedding, so your hamster can dig. They need at least 5 inches or 12 centimeters of bedding, though that is the bare minimum, so people usually agree that they need more. When choosing bedding, make sure you do not use pine or cedar bedding, because they could have toxins in them, which will poison or hurt your hamster. Hamsters will also need a water bottle or a water bowl. Water bottles are usually preferred because hamsters will sometimes throw bedding into the water bowl by accident. You might also need an area for a sand bath, but this usually isn't required, but will help the hamsters clean themselves. It's better to use sand, especially for rodent sand baths, because other sand might be full of illnesses. Hamster care is also very important, or it might give the hamster a short lifespan or make the hamster hostile. Hamsters are nocturnal or crepuscular, and their bites can even draw blood. These reasons make it so most people recommend hamsters not for small children, especially if they treat the hamsters like a toy, and they may hurt it or get hurt in the process. When you get your hamster, the first thing you need to do is spend a few days to let it get used to the cage. The hamster just got thrown into this random place, so it would need a bit of time to calm down and know where everything is. Afterwards, you have to tame your hamster. To tame a hamster, you have to get them used to your scent. Though it is possible for a hamster to already come tamed, this is highly unlikely and only happens if the hamster already likes you. A great way to tell if a hamster is tamed is if it feels comfortable around you, and if you can pick it up. To tame a hamster, you will need to get it used to your scent. There are many methods, but the most common one is by putting a hamster treat on your head and lowering it into the cage to see if the hamster will eat the treat or even get on your head. You would have to do that for about a week or a few until you feel confident enough to pick it up. If the hamster is comfortable being picked up or pet, then you have tamed your hamster. Once a hamster is tamed, you can play with it by making a playpen for the hamster. You have to play with your hamster most days so your hamster knows that you are their friend and don't want to hurt them. The playpen should be secured and have toys in them. When picking up a hamster, make sure to scoop them up instead of picking it out of the cage. The hamster might think your hand is a bird trying to attack it, because birds usually swoop down and pick up hamsters. If you are scared of being bit by your hamster, make sure to wear gardening gloves or mittens so you don't get hurt if they actually bite you. This might work on other rodents unless their teeth tears through the gardening gloves. If they do, try putting more chew toys into the cage. If your hamster is biting the cage bars, that would mean that they are trying to escape or feel stressed. This usually means you have too small of a cage and should get a bigger one, or their teeth might chip or break. Hamsters also will try to climb the roofs of the cage. This is called monkey bearing. If your hamsters are monkey bearing, that would mean that they're trying to find a way out on the top of the cage. This is bad for the hamster if they fall and get hurt. Hamsters also can't have a mesh wheel or one with holes in it, because a hamster's claws might get stuck in the holes, and it can cause an infection called bumblefoot. Hamsters cannot go in water, or they can get many infections. If a hamster is starting to smell bad, just put a sand bath into the cage and it should be fine. Hamsters are omnivores, so most foods can be fed to them, but make sure you research which types of foods are safe before you feed them. They should be fed at least twice a day, but some may argue that they should be fed once every 2 days. They also should be played with for at least 10 to 30 minutes a day. Examples of good food for them are fruits and vegetables. Foods like carrots and strawberries are safe, but make sure to pick the seeds of apples because they have cyanide in them. They also sell hamster pellets that can be purchased at a pet store, but some hamsters might refuse them. You can also feed them seed mixes, but make sure your hamster doesn't get picky and take the certain ones they like. Preferably, it is good to get a food that is bought specifically for hamsters, and fruits and vegetables should only be as treats for the hamster's diet and be given rarely. As you can see, hamsters will need a lot to be taken care of properly, so it is best to do a lot of research before you get your hamster, and find out if a hamster is right for you. Make sure you know for sure what is correct and use a reliable source. If you are already researching right now and found this video, then make sure to look at more videos just in case if I missed any questions you had.